You can tell it's springtime. Male kookaburras fighting. They're probably fighting over you, aren't they? Yes, over you. Hello. At the moment, they're not being too aggressive. They're just biting each other's beaks. But they can be quite aggressive towards each other when they're trying to see which is going to be the king of the tribe. Who's going to get with the girls this season, hey? It's probably one of the older males with one of the newer males, the younger ones. They're trying to determine who's boss, aren't they? And you're just going to sit there and look pretty, aren't you? Yes. Hello. You going to let me pat you? No, don't bite. Don't bite. What are you on about? I know, you're waiting for your breakfast, aren't you? They're pretty used to me, but they still don't really want to be touched. How about you? Hmm? All right, those two boys are up in the tree. You're all very noisy this morning. You know that? Alright, be good. I have to go and do some work. G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Now, I put a little note up on my Facebook group, Pouring Your Heart Out, and also a little note up on my YouTube in the community saying, does anybody want to see how to make an old dull mold back to shiny? And everybody, it was overwhelming. Everyone said, yes, please. So today I'm going to show you what I do. It may not be the perfect way to do it. I don't know. This is just what I do. So I've got a mold here that I have been using for, it's probably one of the very first molds I made. It's my prototype because it's got a little nick out of it there. So I was still learning. So I have used this one multiple times. Still makes beautiful coasters, but it's starting to lose its little sheen. So I'm going to take you down so that you can see what I mean and see if I can pick it up. Now, it's a little bit difficult to maybe pick up this sort of thing because it, it's just white and the poor phone doesn't know what to focus on. And I don't even know if I can show you. I'll try. Probably won't have much success. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if you can see. It's got some marks on it. You can see where the light is at the top back there, top left. It's not really picking up the fact that it's kind of a matte surface. Again, it's really hard for me to show you that on film. This one over here, I don't know if this one, if you can see any difference. Again, it's just hard to focus on these things. What about if I put the light there? I don't know how to show you that it's shiny. Let me pick it up. This one's new. It's nice and shiny. And let's see if I can do the same with this one. Yeah, not so much. All right, I tried. All right, let me put you back up on the tripod. And we'll get set up, hey? Wish I could show you. Oh my gosh. All right, back in a sec. All right, I'm going to bring you down here next to me. Hello. So that maybe you can see a little bit better. So I'll just do this one here. Make sure it's clean. Get some tape. Clean it out. Now, what you're going to need is, little trick here for you, what is the only thing that sticks to silicone? Or the thing that sticks best to silicone is silicone. Okay, so I have some silicone that I've mixed up. I was making some molds and I just mixed up a little bit more so that I could do this for you. Put you on autofocus. Now, I don't think it matters what type of silicone you use. You can use a white silicone like this. You can use a clear silicone. Pink, purple, green, doesn't matter. Just whatever you can get your hands on, whatever you can afford. You don't need a lot. I've made up way too much here. I'll have to go and make another mold after this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with just pouring a little bit of silicone. Now, not too much. Remember, what you add here is going to raise up the level of your mold. So you don't want to be putting too much in. Okay, you just want a thin layer. Now, I like to use my finger because I can feel what I'm doing. Yeah, when I use a glove, it's not as successful. So basically what I'm just going to do is just spread this out towards the edge. It's a bit like finger painting. And then when I've got it almost to the edge, like so, now I'm going to just put what I've got on my finger. I'm just going to rub my finger and sort of push my nail down into that corner, so to speak. Okay, so I'm just pushing the silicone out towards the edge there, and I'm using my nail just to push it in. You don't want the silicone to go up the side, so don't put too much in and don't make like a wave so it pushes the silicone up the side. You just want a thin amount, and you just want to make sure that it goes into the edge like that. I'll get you any closer. All the way around. Can you see in there? Like it's nice and smooth in there. Don't worry about any sort of bumps and lumps at the moment in here. Silicone is self-leveling, so it will level itself as long as you've put enough on. If you haven't put enough in there, you may see like it's dried and it's kind of got a wave on it because it hasn't had enough to actually spread itself out. I'm just going to get into that a little bit there. It's tricky because I'm standing here. Normally I would move around. Okay, now the other thing I want to do is just smooth it. So kind of level it like that. If you do touch the side, just move it off. Okay, now that is all it is. Like, I know, it seems simple. It is simple. I've just got one little dirty finger. Now you just have to make sure that you've pushed it all out to the edge. The edges are the most sort of difficult. You've got to get them right. Now, as I said, all those little fingerprints there, little marks, it will self-level as long as we've got enough. All right, so I'm going to go and do the others. Actually, maybe if I can zoom you in a little bit more. I'll do this one at the back here. Whoops. Getting a bit too close there, aren't we? A bit too close for comfort. Let's see if I can do that one. Oops. Focusing. All right. I am going to do all of them. So I'm going to put a little bit more there. And look, it's just trial and error. I know that I kind of need that sort of size. Okay, so again, make sure that everything's clean. You haven't got any hair and fluff or anything. Because if you do get a hair or some fluff onto that, like I want to get this done so I can cover it. It'll sit in here. It'll stick. Okay. Right, let's do another one. Just like the other one. So push it out towards the edges first, so that you're kind of leveling it. Make sure that you've got enough. So just spread out, spread out your little puddle that you've made. So it looks as if I've got enough. If you're a bit worried about it and you don't think you've got quite enough, you can drizzle just a tiny bit more in. Spread it out. Okay, now that it's spread, now you can start using your fingernail. I push it like that to the edge and then off to the side. Does that make sense? So yeah, just use whatever silicone you've got. This is a 1-to-1 silicone. I weigh it. So, 100 grams of A to 100 grams of B. There are some out there that have like a much bigger or heavier part A, and then you mix it with a catalyst, which is like a small bottle. But for me, I just prefer the 1-to-1. I have to turn my finger upside down to get to this little bit here because I'm backwards. I'll wipe it off the side. Look, it doesn't matter if you get a little bit on the side. Don't be too precious about it. It's just silicone. It'll just stick to the other silicone that you've already got there. So make sure I run my finger all the way around. Make sure that I've got it into all those little edges. So when you do this, just try not to touch the side. If you do, like I said, you can wipe it off. But yeah, silicone is going to stick to the silicone. If you've got like a blob, it'll run down. It'll just level itself off. But just make sure that you've got enough that it will self-level. All right, there we go. Number 2 done. Now let's go back and have a look at the first one. And you can already see that that one has leveled out really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go and do the other 2 now. It's going to take about 6 hours or so to set. It just depends on the weather. Oh, look, I can show you shiny. See that one there, top left? See how it's kind of scraped and it's a bit matte looking? And then we come over here and we're shiny and new. Look at that. I finally get to show you. Oh, I should have done that the first time around. All right, so that one's leveling itself nicely. Still got a little way to go, but it's getting there. Yeah, can you see the difference? Hopefully you can. All right, I'm going to go and do the other 2, and I'm going to come back in 6 to 8 hours, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. But I need to get these done and covered so we don't get any dust on them. All right, see you soon. Hey guys, it's the next day. I decided just leave it covered overnight because I was busy doing other things anyway. So let's have a little look and see how they've turned out, hey? Look at that. I'm going to pour into this today. Next video. Look at the shine on it. You can see how it's reflecting in the window there. So I've got a window just in front of me there, but look at that. It's still got heaps of depth, but yeah, it's all shiny and new. Beautiful. And luckily I don't see any hair or fluff or anything in it, so it looks just like a brand new mold, doesn't it? Easy to do, and relatively cheap too. Like, you don't need a lot. You can just buy, you know, the smallest kit you need, because you saw how much I put in. It was just like a little puddle in the center. So I guess depending on how much the silicone is and how much your molds cost you, you have to decide, you know, whether or not you want to do this. You know, some of those cheap Chinese molds, you know, the ones I'm talking about, you only get a few uses out of them, and then they either stick to the resin or they go dull. But yeah, if you wanted to spend the money on buying some silicone and redoing the surface yourself, then by all means do it, especially with your more expensive molds. It is worthwhile. All right, I need to go and have a coffee, get the day underway, and I'm going to pour into this today. I'm going to try dragon skin, and I'm going to go with some white, red, copper, and black. So that's going to be my next video coming up. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that little video, and yeah, fix up some of your molds if you've got any that need some attention. It certainly does work well. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you for the next video. All right, bye for now.